So it's been a little over 3 weeks since we made the video where we sowed the seeds in these soil blocks for the cabbage, lettuce, and our onions. And so I just wanted to give an update on what we have here and also to show you how we give a haircut to our onions. So here are all of the onions that we planted. We have 40 blocks of onions, each with 5 seeds. So this is roughly about 200 onions in there. And then the lettuce we planted. In this flat we have more lettuce and then bok choy. And we have 3 varieties of cabbage here. This is red cabbage, and then a Savoy cabbage, and a regular green cabbage. And then we have more lettuce on this side too. In this third flat that we planted, we didn't show the seeding for this flat, but it was done shortly after the previous video. A few days afterwards, we planted these peppers. So these peppers are also about a little over 3 weeks old. And then these tomatoes were planted later. These are about two weeks old. And in this last row, we have a bitter melon, or what in Hindi is referred to as Karela. We planted these pretty early because they take a while to mature and bear fruit. So we wanted to try and see if it's better if we do it earlier. So as you can see, the cabbage and the bok choy here, they seem like they're pretty ready to be planted outside. They're outgrowing their soil block, and indeed, as soon as the snow we have going on here clears away and the soil is workable, we plan to, in the next few days, we'll get the cabbage and the bok choy and also the lettuce, the greens, outside. The onions will be inside for a little longer, probably another 3 weeks or so. And the peppers and the tomatoes even more so. The peppers and tomatoes probably will be inside for maybe over a month. Yeah, and then we have already started for these greens that we'll be planting outside soon. We've already started the process of hardening them, which is that we have been taking them outside for increasing periods of time. So we start with like about an hour or a couple of hours in the day. We let them be outside in the sun for a while, and then soon we'll be able to even leave them outside for a whole night. And so that's when I'd feel comfortable planting them in the soil. What else? So for these 2 flats, which are our colder varieties of crops, we don't really need to have any extra temperature care for them. They've been germinating just fine at about 70 degrees room temperature. But for the hotter crops, which are the peppers and the tomatoes, and also we have eggplant here, the eggplant, these crops require higher temperatures for germination. So we use this seed mat to help them, which increases the germination temperature by about 10 to 15 degrees. The other thing that we also do is we do try to keep them outside in the sunlight, close to a window, as long as possible. But this time of year, because the sunlight is, the hours of sunlight are shorter, and also because the window we have is only southeast facing, we try to give them more light using grow lights. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to give a haircut to these onions. They've already gotten rather tall and skinny, and so we are just going to snip them off at about height of about 1.5 inches or so. So we just grab all of the onions in a soil block and then clip them like so. Now the reason we are doing this is it it helps the onions. It might seem counterintuitive to sort of take away the leafy part of the onion, but it helps the onions to actually develop strong roots and eventually larger bulbs. And to show you that, here are a couple of onions that we have from last year. So these were harvested around about August or so, but they were planted at the same time last year, and we did give them a haircut just like today. So yeah, I'm just going to finish off the rest of these. So there you have it. All the onions have been clipped, and we will still need to probably give another couple of rounds of clipping before we plant these outside, maybe in I think 3 weeks. So yeah, so there you have it. And then about these clippings, the greens we got from the onions, these are actually edible and you can use them in your cooking. They impart a really nice onion flavor to the cooking. So that's it. Thanks for watching.